Hey, what's going on, everybody? Matt here. I'm gonna be throwing my name into the hat for the 20 favorite comic book covers contest uh, that Seeking Near Mints put out there to the community. It's like with most people, it's really hard to kind of pick and choose what covers are your favorite. Um, I had to leave out a bunch of them to make it 20. I was thinking about just showing them all, but I don't want this to be a crazy long video or anything. So I'm just going to show these. See if I can back up the camera a little bit so you can see better. There we go. I'm going to show these ones, and you guys have seen most of them. I'm sure most of them are on your guys' tag videos. And I guess since it's a tag video, I'm going to go ahead and tag Doc and Howlett, Chris. I want to see your top 20 covers, man. And let's do Coast and Bromstar, Scott. Let's do those two guys, the OGs of the community. If you guys have time, I'd love to see your top 20 covers. Anyway, so this is, and I've tried to kind of go through the full spectrum of comics that I have, some new, some old. I tried to pick my favorite creators and my favorite covers that they did that I have in my collection. So anyway, here is Jim Steranko, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1 by Jim Steranko. Classic cover. This is, I believe, this next one is a Dave Cockrum. He's mostly famous for his X-Men run, but I think this Spectacular Spider-Man #5 cover is amazing. It's not. I mean, it's not really worth a heck of a lot of money, but you know it doesn't matter because it's such a cool cover. Let's see. Sticking with Spider-Man here, I've got Amazing Spider-Man 121, John Romita. Classic cover. It's been swiped countless times. Same with this next guy. This is Amazing Spider-Man 300. I have to put these in there. These are covers that I grew up, you know, fantasizing about owning, and you know, it's luckily enough I do own them. So, but these are just like burned into my brain of images of Spider-Man and comic books in general. This next book has special significance to me. This is Amazing Spider-Man #4. This was the first book that I bought that was my top book. Like this was the book, you know, this was the top book in my collection for years. It has special meaning to me, and I love this cover. I mean, Steve Ditko just crushed it on this cover, I think. So very underrated Spider-Man cover, signed by Stan Lee. I wish it was signed by Ditko, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, this next book. Let's put these right here. This next book is Swamp Thing #7. This is a special book to me. Bernie Wrightson is my favorite artist of all time. A lot of you guys that watch my old videos remembers me talking about Bernie a lot, and he's just, you know, all time. The guy's just, I've met him twice, luckily, before he passed away. Met him twice, and couldn't have been a nicer person. You know, when you meet the people that you look up to, and it's kind of a scary thing because you don't really know how they really are. But Bernie was such an accommodating person, and I remember I had my kids with me the first time I met him, and they were just very little, and you know, he was talking to them. They couldn't talk back or anything, but he was just talking to them and waving to them, and he was just such a nice person. His wife was there. His wife was such an amazing person as well. So this cover means a lot to me because this was the one that I took to him, and I remember as a kid always wanting to own this. I was such a big Batman fan, and as a kid they used to run the Swamp Thing TV show on TV, so Swamp Thing was always, you know, around. But I had Bernie sign it right here. And actually, I had Lynn Wein sign it, who just unfortunately just passed away as well. So this book is priceless to me, and it's just such a cool cover. All right, another cool cover by Marie Severin, one of my favorite artists from the late '60s, early '70s. Submariner number 16. Um, this cover, I don't ever see anyone show this cover on top covers, but I think it absolutely needs to be in the conversation always. I mean, it's just such a beautiful cover. I don't know. I'm sorry about the glare, but just the detail in that is just absolutely phenomenal. Um, this Submariner run um, has so many good covers in it. I'm a real water fan. I like water covers. So um, Submariner, you know, obviously he's in water, so there's there's a ton of good covers. I'm also a big fan of purple. Purple is my favorite color, and purple backgrounds, purple characters. They're just where it's at. And this is Showcase 55. This is the first first Silver Age appearance of Solomon Grundy. Um, Amazing cover. Deep, deep purples in there. Um, it's kind of more of an it's more of an expensive comic. It's in this condition, it's probably about 70, $80, right around there. But it's such a great cover. If you ever come across it, sorry if there's glare on there. But if you ever come across this cover, it's just fantastic. Um, Book I just picked up that is a classic cover, and that's Daredevil #1. You can't. I mean, this cover is just any collector of Silver Age Marvel. This is burned into their brains, and along with this one, Fantastic Four number 52, first appearance of Black Panther. These are just covers that when I was a kid, I used to be flipping through Wizard magazine as a kid, and um, just seeing these covers and just blown away by the art. I mean, Jack Kirby. I mean, you just can't say much more about these classic covers. I don't want to just leave it all classic. I mean, mostly I collect Silver and Bronze Age, but I do collect modern as well. This cover is Detective 880 by Jock, and I was fortunate enough actually to get Scott Snyder to sign it a couple years ago at WonderCon. But I mean, when you're talking about Joker covers, the amount of awesome Joker covers out there it's just phenomenal to see all these Joker covers. But this one, I mean, it's got to be in the conversation of most unique Joker covers, I should say, I suppose. Just absolutely phenomenal. Let's see what else we got here. Speaking of another Joker cover, we've got Batman Harley Quinn. This is the first appearance of Harley Quinn in DC continuity. Cover is done by Alex Ross, who, as many people have pointed out in the community here, just such an underrated artist. I mean, no, he didn't get the love that he should, and he's a really good artist. Never strays from the awesome. Okay, let's see what we got here. I believe this is another Dave Cockrum. This is X-Men number 137. Just a classic X-Men cover in my mind. I almost put the Days of Future Past one out there, but I like this cover better with they're on Geonosis or whatever, and they've got Earth in the background, and it's just a fantastic cover. So there's that. Figured I'd throw another modern one in there. This one's been shown a couple times. This is Wonder Woman 25, Jenny Frison cover. I was kind of torn between this one and the Ant-Man cover because they're both just absolutely phenomenal. But this one, I know it's been shown on a lot of videos, but when you get it, it's just it's a different type of feeling, because you see this book, but when you actually get it and you look at like the details that she put in, like in her eyes, and just Jenny Frizen's killing it right now. There's that one. All right, so we've got some Neil Adams goodness here. This is Batman 234, first appearance of Two-Face, of the modern Two-Face. Just classic cover. Had Neil Adams sign it for me right there. All right. Talking Jim Steranko in the beginning of the video. Here's another. Actually, this is a funny story. This is Hulk King Size Special #1, classic cover. I know you guys have probably seen this one around, tons of videos and pictures and whatever. But Jim Steranko was the artist on this, but he couldn't get the head right. He spent like hours and hours and hours drawing this picture and couldn't get the head right. And actually, I had heard about this story, and when I met Jim Steranko a few years ago, I asked him about it, and he's like, I just couldn't get the position right on the head to make him feel satisfied. So he asked Marie Severin, who did the Submariner book that I showed earlier, to help out, and she actually drew the head on Hulk here, and Steranko drew the rest. So just a little quick, interesting story of the history of this book, but nevertheless, it's a fantastic cover. Had to throw some Art Adams in there. This is classic X-Men #1. This image has been used countless times on X-Men products and whatnot, but Art Adams, just underrated artist. I believe Art Adams is fantastic. Okay. Let's see. So we've got another modern book. This is Frankenstein Agent of Shade #4 by J.G. Jones. This cover is a fantastic homage to old monster movie posters. When I first saw this, I was collecting a lot of the New 52s, and I saw this one, and I had to pick it up. I wasn't necessarily a huge Frankenstein Agent of Shade fan, but this cover is just absolutely mind-boggling. J.G. Jones is a great artist, though. So, I mean, I could have put numerous books of his in there. Same with this artist. This is Daredevil #10 from Volume 3, I believe. This book and the last book that I'm about to show are probably two of my favorite covers of all time. It's hard to pinpoint what's your favorite cover of all time, but this one and the next book are two covers that honestly I would probably have to say are #1 and #2. This reminds me of a Bernie Wrightson picture. It's Daredevil with the Mole Man, and I mean, the detail on this sucker is just freaking awesome, man. And this isn't even a variant. This is just the regular cover. I mean, if you guys are into covers, this one right here is just, it's awesome. And last but not least, got Batman #227, The Demon of Gothos Mansion. Another classic Neil Adams cover. Been shown in numerous videos, I'm sure, but just something about this cover. I never thought I'd get it, and it's not in the best condition or anything. It's got a crease right here. It's even got a little bit of water staining right here, but just such a phenomenal cover. And like I said, it's between this one and this one are probably my two favorite covers of all time. Yeah, so there's my top 20 covers. I was actually really excited to do this because you get to go through your collection again and thumb through everything. And as for me anyways, once it gets in the long box, it's there, and and I don't really do too much thumbing around. I have my book showing, you know, which numbers I have and whatnot, but I don't get the chance to look at them as much as I'd like to. So this top 20 covers was awesome, man. I appreciate that. So if you guys haven't subbed to Seeking Near Mint Comics, sub him out. He's an awesome dude. Always has kick-ass content on his channel. And yeah, so anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. And I will catch you guys next time.